Islam, Islam.
Happy Holy Day, Mars.
Peace, peace, Islam to all the Moors out there. Just want to give everybody some love. Thanks everybody for tuning in. First and foremost, of course, we want to give praise, honors to Father God, Allah, Father of the universe. Of course, you know we're going to give a shout out to the Father God, Allah. We do it every time. We want to give honors to our noble prophet, Drew Ali.
Islam.
We want to give honors to the forerunner to the prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We also want to give honors to our first Supreme Grand Sheikh, Emily Ill. We also want to give honors to the current Supreme Grand Sheikh, D. Bailey L. And honors to all the members of the Supreme Grand Council. We want to give honors to all the divine ministers, all the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And we also want to give honors to all the Asiatics out there, all the different Moorish organizations, to all the active Moors out there. Islam. So Islam, if you're an active Moor, Islam, and make sure you're active and you share this video. Make sure you click like and share this video, okay? That's one of the things that all the active Moors out there need to do.
Islam.
Okay? And that's real easy. Everybody can do that.
Happy Holy Day to all Muslims all over the world. Because on a Friday, the first man was formed in the flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. And for that, every Friday is our holy day for all Muslims all over the world.
Islam. All right. And thanks everybody for tuning in. If you see the title of the video, we're talking about basically what constitutes a Moorish American. You know, what is a Moorish American? How do we conduct ourselves? What are we? You know, what are we not? Right? And one of the reasons that brought that up is because one of the things that you see a lot, especially online, right, from our people, okay, all right, you got a lot of people who want information. They want to know what's going on, want to know what's up. And I understand that. I respect that. I appreciate it, right? I can relate to that. I understand. I get where everybody's coming from. But one of the things that people do, okay, when it, especially coming into this information, is you see a lot of people making demands. You know, making demands online. People want to know, you know, what's going on, especially with the Moorish Science Temple of America. And they don't just want to know what's going on with it. They want to know everything. You know, people have all types of questions. All types of questions. They want to know all types of information. They want your documents. They want everything. They even want stuff that really isn't for everyone. That's only for members. That's only for people that are active, that are participating, that are building, that are what happens, like, you know what, I'm going to make an analogy with this. You know, they want, you know, even information that is only for people who are invested, who are serious enough to become active members in the Moorish Science Temple of America, become a part of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, to find out what that means. They don't know, to study and to become active and to make it a part of their life. So you have people who aren't invested like that. Maybe they're just looking around online. Maybe they won't even be on this next year. Maybe this is just a fad for them. Who knows? Because nobody knows who these people are. Because, you know,
they're just
internet personalities, right? We just see faces online, you know?
And a lot of that is because we are in the Aquarian age and the age of information. And, you know, a lot of these younger Moors are just used to, you know, all the information they want being at their fingertips. You know, going online and looking up everything that they want to know right then and there, and that's awesome. But in the real world, you know, we have to work towards, you know, what we want. We have to build, you know, our future. We have to be invested in, you know, our circumstances. And a lot of people don't understand that because they're not used to working for what they have, because everything is given to them.
Right. And so, like I was saying, yeah, people, you know, there's so many people online, right? It's the whole world. So you have people who want to know. They want this, they want that, they want everything. They even want information. It's only for people who are actually for real invested in the movement, right? They want that too, without having to actually be invested. Okay, and then people like this tend to get frustrated or upset. Say they are trying to talk with someone who's a member of the temple or whatever online, and they want to know the X, Y, and Z, but they don't want to be in it. I just want to know, but I don't want to, you know, put in any work. And so they want to do this. And then if you like, well, look, man, we need to actually speak off of the internet in real life. It's not all about the internet. It's not all about the online. Most of y'all don't even have computers. Everybody's on these phones, right? So you're not even online for real. You're on the phone. So it's not all about the phone, man. It's not all about the phone, okay? You have to do things in real life.
Right.
People are forgetting this, man. Y'all starting. Anybody ever seen that movie Wall-E? It was like a kid's cartoon, a children's cartoon, where they're like all in the future. And everybody's all getting fat and stuff because they don't do anything anymore. They just rely on technology, right? And it gets to the point where I'm not gonna get all off into the subject with that movie, but the people, you know, you have a lot of people like this, especially with the information. They just want to build online, build online, build online. We don't even know if these people are serious because it's all internet. It's just like me. For all you know, some people they could be doing this online. You see them wearing a fez. They have an L or whatever on their name. But then off the internet, they just regular Leroy Jenkins, just regular Leroy Jackson, you know, whatever, right? And they're not even about that, and nobody knows anything about them having anything to do with any Moorish nationality because it was just some internet stuff for them, right? And they're not really invested, right? So they're not really a part of the movement. But online, you look at them online, on this profile that they made, they're going in. They're always on. They're asking all types of questions. They're saying all types of stuff. And so I make that point to, you know, because I know this fits for somebody. For somebody, this is exactly what they're going through. They're not really living it. It's an online thing for them, right? And so I might address that, what person said later. But for some people, it's not really real for them. Maybe for a lot of people, it's just the internet thing. And so these type of people, these are the same people who would get upset or frustrated when you don't want to spill the beans and tell them everything you know, everything that you're doing to somebody who's just the internet avatar who might not even be a real person, you know?
It's like, what part of the game is that? Like, what life are you living? Like, where are you from where you think you can just hit people up for information? And then sometimes you get a ton of information and you do nothing with it. And it's like, why do you want this? And it's like, if you're not a member of the MST of A, number one, the temple don't owe you anything.
It really doesn't, because first and foremost, okay, this is a religious society. And I know, you know, a lot of people don't have any idea what that means. But then a lot of people don't even really want to know. You're not even going to look it up or try to figure it out. Okay, so it's first and foremost the members. That's what it's about. It's about building, uplifting our community, our nation. And if you're not going to become a part of this society, then it's not for you. Okay, and you can't just dig and get all the information you want for free without putting in anything towards it, putting any effort in towards it, any love, sweat, and tears towards building the nation. You don't want to do any of that. It's just the internet thing for you. And so it's just like what I was going to say earlier. Like, say you know, you want a relationship with this woman, and she's a great woman. She's got it going on. You know, she's doing great things. And you just want to, you know, use a part-time. You just want to come around when it feels good for you, but you're not trying to put in any work. You know, you're not trying to actually be there, you know, for emotional support and all these other things that real people need. You just want to use her and then throw it to the side, right? She'd be a fool to entertain that, right?
Islam.
Especially there's other people who's serious, who's for real, like not trying to do that. So like, it's the same way with the movement in a way. Like, if you're not actually trying to become a part of this society, because you have some people who would trash it because they'll be like, they got infiltrated, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you just want to toss the Prophets movement out the window. You're not going to do the work. Put in the work to make it work. Because it's not like there's some magical people who's going to come in and save you. You got to do the work. And you have to do the work regardless. Whether you want to be a part of the Prophets movement or not, you have to put in work. Okay? So, for these people, you can't just, you know, it's not like everything else on the internet. Because you have to remember what he came and set up. This was done pretty much, I mean, you could say 100 years ago, even though the temples, you know, actually, you know, created in 28 as it is now, he actually started it before that. So it's been up for over 100 years, literally, not figuratively. Look it up yourself. This movement has been going on for this long, before the internet. It's not an internet thing. You can get some information online, but it's not good enough. You're going to have to actually get out here and speak to real people and put in real work. And that's one of the things. That's how come, which I'm not going to get too off on this, but that's how come you got a lot of people who want to do this magic paperwork stuff, want to file liens against people, even though that lady, who I'm not going to name, got like convicted of 7 years. She filed all these liens against all these people in different positions in government, and she got 7 years for that, not for something else. So that's a wake-up call to the people out here who's hearing these people say, file those liens, hit them with those liens. Hit yourself with those sentences, man. You know? You think that's you're a slave now. For real, be a legal slave. Right. You know, in that correctional facility. So that's what I'm just saying that to say, you know, people want to do this magic stuff. We're going to file this paperwork. We're going to do this, and that. They don't want to do the real work, right? That is some more internet stuff. Okay, you had the people, which, like I said, I'm not going to get too far into this, but real quick, you had the little sovereign citizen stuff getting mixed in with the Moorish information. Somebody's trying to excuse that stuff. Like, nah, she was on that Moorish stuff. She was talking all that junk up until she knew it was over. And then she started apologizing and trying to backtrack. And they still hit her with the 7 years.
And right there, it lets you know
but that in and of itself,
you have
that's
to be
crazy.
Careful. You have to be careful. Even people who's saying that, you know, they're Moorish Americans or they're Moors, they not even doing what they're supposed to do. Like, if you have not proclaimed your nationality in the MST of A set up by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you are not a Moorish American Muslim. There's a difference. Yes, you're more by blood, you know, of African descent or whatever, of American descent or Aboriginal descent, whatever you want to call it, but you're not a Moorish American Muslim.
Yeah, because you don't understand. The only reason this works is because we have someone who's a prophet who came and established a religious society. It's legit. That's it. He proclaimed you Moorish American. And if you're not participating in that society, it's just like you could be like, you know, okay, the Vatican or something like that. You can say, oh, yeah, we're part of the Vatican too. We're Catholic. No, you're not. No, there's only like 500 citizens of Vatican City. It's like, no, you're not. You're not a part of that society. You are not an active participant in that society. You're not a part of that society, and you don't abide by their rules. You don't abide by no rules. You're out here doing whatever you want, right? Making it up as you go. No, it was set up at a particular point in time. Okay, were the Catholics before it was set up? You know, it's not that old. Yes, but guess what? They're not a part of that. That's something else. And that's the truth of the matter. I know a lot of people won't want to hear that, but that kind of ties into what we're saying. Like, if you want to be on the outside, okay, you're only going to get so much information because it's not for you. You know, it's just like I was talking to someone else earlier, and you know, he's made a good point where he was saying, like, you can't just go into Walmart, argue with, you know, an employee there, and get to speak to the CEO of the company, you know, because somebody angered you or something happened. No, it doesn't work like that. You know, you have to put in work. So that's not how things work. And you can't, you know, with this movement, just, hey, I'm gonna try to pick your brain, you know, and they don't tell you everything you want to know. You know what I'm saying? And so it doesn't work like that. You know, you can't just, oh, I want access to the Supreme Grand Sheik. I want access to them having demands. Excuse me, coming in with demands like, I want this, I want that, I want to see this, and that. I want all of this stuff. And it's like, who are you? Are you even a member of this society? If you're not a member of the society, then you're an outsider. It doesn't matter if you look like me. It doesn't matter if you're darker complected than me. It doesn't matter. You're an outsider. And that's the bottom line. What would not make you an outsider? Let's see, having put in some work, actually being an active participant in this society, you know?
Paying your dues.
Yeah, like you have to be active, not doing your own thing, a part of this society. You know, people have demands, like out here just for real legit having demands, and they're not even a part of the movement.
But justice will catch everyone. Everyone's rewarded for their deeds, and like, you're gonna get what you're asking for, and it might not be in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Just like that sister who got, you know, locked up or convicted, you know, based off the information she was handling or dealing with, you too will be caught up in that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it like this, like, especially with things like that, because you will, you know, this occurs a lot. You have the people who are on the outside in whatever capacity. Maybe they're a part of some other organization. Maybe they started their own thing, or they just vagabonds just doing them, you know, no structure, no nothing, and they want, I want this, I want that, you need to tell me this, and that. They want all the secrets, they want to know everything, you know,
and everyone
you're not
can't
gonna get it. It's
everything.
Not gonna work like that.
There's a ton of information, a ton of stuff to know, and it's not for everyone. You know, what you're meant to get and what you're meant to know may be in your lane. You can't just take up all the lanes on the expressway with one car.
And I know people might get mad or upset or whatever, you know, but you know, especially when you're telling people no, you know, nobody wants to hear no, but that's just how it works. No, there's some things you're just not gonna get on the internet, and the answer is just gonna have to be no. Okay, and maybe you don't deserve access to everyone, too, as well. I mean, seriously, you got to think about it, because it's like, who are you? All right. And someone asked the question, good question. So by attending the temple, will you be able to start studying from there? Yes, that's what it's created for. You know, one of the main parts and aspects of it is to teach you about your nationality and what that means, what it comprises, so that you have a thorough understanding, right? And it's very important, okay? And so, yes, then you get to learn things, because this wasn't really created for the internet. It, like I said before, this was created before the internet. This isn't an internet movement. The structure, the temple, the Moorish Temple of America, has to get in some ways caught up to the internet age, okay? Because it wasn't about that. It's a people movement, okay? This is the Moorish divine and national movement. This is for us. It's about uplifting us, fallen humanity, all right? Our communities. Picking us up so that we can take part in the affairs of man, right? Okay, so you have to learn these things. And so, yes, that's one of the main reasons you go to the temple. I mean, first off, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, right? So this is what you can do within our society. All right. And that's one of the reasons why you would join. And this is one of the things that people get mad because you have so many people like, you have some people who have a chip on their shoulder because they didn't know about the temple. They didn't find out about this from the temple. So they're out here doing their own thing and they're winging it and they're filing all this paperwork and all these things. And then they have people in the temple like, you don't have to do all this. We had this religious society. It was set up X, Y, and Z. This, and that was done. Hurd Smith revised statute set up in Illinois like this. It's legit. We can do this. We can proclaim our nationality. We have a religious freedom. We can do this. All that paperwork's unnecessary. You can't tell that to, some people because the ego gets involved. And like, what you mean is unnecessary? And so people get to feeling, some kind of way about that. And then they have a thing against the temple. And that's at the end of the day, the bottom line. That's what it really is. It's that simple. It's the ego. It might even be your ego. I'm not judging because, like, I found out about this, pretty much in the streets out there. I didn't find out about, our nationality from the temple. Okay? And, I had to knock that ego stuff to the side. You got to kick it to the side. And, that's something that a lot of people you may have to deal with at some point in time. Because at the end of the day, for real, it's that simple. That's where a lot of people's hostility and things towards that comes from. Okay? And no, you can't just come in demanding all this stuff, but you don't want to take part in the society. I'm going to tell you another thing, too. There's some people who don't want to live right, who don't want to clean themselves up, which is one of the things that we do. We have the Holy Quran. I mean, it's telling you, how to be successful, okay? How to live. Things that you already know, how to do right. Some people don't want to do that, and they just don't. And that's why it would be unappealing to them. And at the end of the day, it's that simple for a lot of people. And so that's why they don't want to take part, okay? And I mean, you have to be real with yourself. A lot of people don't want to be real with yourselves. Some people want to act like they're so high and mighty and they're so spiritual and everything. But they don't even want to be real with themselves. You don't really want to get right. Blocked. A lot of people, you don't want to raise your children. You don't want to have your family intact, protecting your family, doing what you're supposed to, being on the right side of things instead of always in trouble and messed up. A lot of people aren't trying to do that. And so this is unappealing. And that's another reason why people don't want to take part. And so, like, we just have to be real. We have to keep it real. Like, that's really what it is for a lot of people. It's that simple, right? And so, somebody said something about unity. Unity, that's what this is about. I mean, with the nationality, everyone can unify under this one banner, okay? Doesn't matter what perspective you're coming from, okay? And it's that simple, okay? But at the same time, you can't be standing over here and like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try to pick your brain for whatever you might know so that I could take it and try to do it out here on the outside. It's not going to work on the outside. This was set up properly and it's recognized. You can go, you can speak to people who understand law, who know what they're talking about, and they'll let you know this is legit. So if you know this is legit, why would you be trying to go outside of it to do something? Why would you just be trying to stand on the sidelines and try to pick the brains of people who are in the temple to try to see what they know so that you can use it on the outside when it's not going to work? Why?
A lot of people are trying to do it for the gram or Facebook or YouTube. They're just trying to gain popularity because they see the movement is growing. So they want, all eyes on them. They're like, hey, I could talk about this too. And it's like, that's not sincere. You're not being a Moorish American Muslim. You're just out here scamming. You're like a vulture. You're just picking stuff from here and there and trying to put it together in the video or for the gram, making memes, because it gains you popularity, and that right there is your lower self. Like, you're not even trying to better yourself to like get that balance of energy, open your pineal gland, work with your chakra energy, actually talk to Allah. You know what I'm saying? That's what being a Moorish American Muslim is about. It's about your spirituality.
Yeah, and so like, I mean, doing that stuff don't work, man. You might be able to pick the brain of other organizations or whatever, and they just give up everything they working on, without you actually investing and becoming a part of it. All right, part and partial. All right, but hey, that's them. We're not moving like that. So no, the answer is no. For the temple, we have no problem saying no. N-O. You're not a part of this society. There's no hatred towards you, but we have to keep it real. The prophet proclaimed us a nation. You know, you have to become a part. If we're out here working and doing things, you don't know what we're doing because we're not talking about it on the internet. Number one, you don't know what you're doing because you're on the outside. All right? And that's how it goes. You have to be off the internet taking part to understand. And if you are just one of these, and you cool with just being an internet fake person, that's just what you're going to be. You're not going to get all the jewels or whatever we're working on. You're not. Because you have to be active in taking part in it. Okay? You can't just come up say, I want to know X, Y, and Z. I want to know this, this, and that. You have to become a part. All right? It's real. It's legit. And that's about as far as it goes. And I mean, you'll see that. Like, this is how it's going to be. You're talking to, you know, members of the Moorish Temple of Americans. Like, okay, you have to join. You have to come in. Why are people so scared of commitment? What is this? What's going on? You're scared? You don't want to be part of it? You don't want to be an active part?
And it's just like if you're trying to get your master's degree in, you know, in sociology, you have to attend the course. You know, you have to do the coursework. You have to attend the classes. It's like you don't just get the stuff just for being who you are because you're a wonderful person. Yes, you're a wonderful person, but you also have to do the work.
Yeah, and somebody said she got 7 years because she was black in No Nation. That's crazy, you know? She got 7 years, okay, because she put liens on several different government officials, all right? And it was fraud. That's what they said, and that's what stuck. And she tried to switch her game up, you know, once she saw that it wasn't working. And that's too bad, man. I'm just saying, like, people who are outside of this movement trying to do their own thing get caught up in things like that. Why? Because they don't want to do the real work. The real work, the real way that the movement and everything works is simple, man. Economics, you know, working together, having an actual goal and purpose, not being a fool out here like they're saying, oh, what was that? Occupy Wall Street, right? They have people out here just occupying Wall Street for no reason. They didn't have anything on the table. They're not like, oh, we protesting. You want to stop protesting? We want X, Y, and Z. Nothing. Black Lives Matters. Same thing. Got people out here protesting every time something happens, which is reactionary, right? That's you know, they're not active. They're not progressive. They're just reacting to different things, emotional. Yeah, they just come out here, tap into your emotions. Nothing on the table. The entire black everything works like that. Nothing on the table, nothing concrete, no plan of action, no, you know, okay, we're going to bargain with you. This is what we want. You know, there's a bargaining process that goes back and forth when you're doing this thing. When you're playing the game, it works like this all over the world. It's not just a thing here. You know, if you taking action, okay, well, this is what we want for it. And they might be like, well, okay, we could do this and we'll meet you there. And it just goes on and on till both parties concede. But, you know, for the black people, that doesn't even happen. You know, with the people who make laws, they just come, dance, have a chicken wing or something, and they get the black vote, and they don't give them nothing. It's a joke, right? They do nothing, okay? And that's how that works. And so for us, it doesn't work like that. We play the game. We do what we're supposed to do. You know, we work. We're prosperous, all right? And that's not a magic bullet. It's real. That's how it works. And so people don't want to do that. And that's why you have all these people getting caught up in the foolishness, thinking you could just file this paperwork and they're going to bow down to you. And that's all you got to do. And that never works. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It doesn't work. I don't care if you get your court case, your gun charges, your drug charges, you know, thrown out on a technicality. That has nothing to do with your nationality, and anyone can do it. It doesn't matter what you look like. Everyone's doing it. All you have to do is study some law. Has nothing to do with nothing. Okay? And so this is why people are getting caught up in all that stuff. Because they're out here, outside of the movement, trying to do it on their own. I can't even really legit say that that is a legit part of the movement, because these are personal things that people are attacking, personal cases. They're not getting anything done at a legislative level. They're not getting anything done for their community, for their people, for the nation. They're not, nothing, right? Not creating businesses, not doing anything.
Not being
no
productive.
Moorish banks, nothing. Right? And that's what happens when you're on the outside looking in. That's what happens when you're out here reading up on everything, doing everything that's online, and trying to pick the brains of other people, you know, that's in the temple, but you don't want to join. You want to pick their brains, but you ain't trying to take part. That's what happens. They get caught up in everything. And that's why they'll have you filing paperwork and you telling these government officials, oh, we from Lemuria, my ancestors came from Mars, we've been here for millions of years. You got a proclamation saying all this. And some of these people, I saw one of these consulate websites, they telling you to send this to the president. Really? Put your thumbprints on it in red, blue ink and send it to the president so that the Secret Service can be looking at you like you're crazy? Hopefully they just think you're crazy and they not like looking into it like you're a real threat, because that's crazy. But that's what happens when you're on the outside looking in, right? Because you got to come up with all these ways, man. None of this stuff's working, man. We need to file this proclamation. You need to send that to the president. You need to send that to the Pope. You need to send that to the Archbishop. You need to go to they even have people sending stuff to, man, there was somebody, I forgot what he was telling me. Somebody sent something to some official like in China or somewhere crazy. Some off-brand crazy stuff like in Asia somewhere, right? And it's like, why? Why? This makes no sense. But that's what happens when you're on the outside looking in. Right? Somebody said, are you saying that Moors not in the temple or not Moors? I didn't say that. You know?
Go back and watch.
I said the prophet proclaimed us Moorish Americans. He proclaimed us a nation, created a religious society. If you want to know more about it, go to mstofa.net, join a temple, read up. Stop staying on the outside and just trying to pick as much as you can, because there's some crazy stuff going on. All right? All that stuff I named, if you haven't heard about this crazy stuff yet, it's because you haven't been in this as long as me. All right? There's some crazy stuff going on. And people are saying and doing just about anything. Okay? So if you're on the outside, you're susceptible to all this stuff. These people are encouraging people to squat in expensive homes, in neighborhoods with people who don't want you in there, especially trying to come and squat. Come on, man. Like, just be real. Like, you have your business, you're prosperous, you're doing good, you're taking care of your family, you got them protected, you're in this nice neighborhood, you got somebody just coming to squat next to you. You gonna be happy? Oh, you're a Moor. Come here. Yo, come and eat with my family. Yeah, this is my wife and children. Like, come on in, man. You squatting in that house.
What?
You gonna be happy, right? You gonna feel safe and cool, like you got your family in a good situation. Oh, our neighbor, yeah, he squatted in his. No, you're not gonna be happy. It's not the way to do it. It's no quick come ups. This is get rich quick schemes, bro.
Right.
It's not. It don't work like that. You gotta have your business. You have to be prosperous no matter what. If you're not doing business, if you're not industrious, you know, you're a drag on society. Okay?
You have to focus on yourself, uplift yourself, focus on your strengths so that you can be successful, so that you can come into the temple with remedy, so that you can, you know, add to the build instead of like stealing bricks, you know?
So to this person who's like saying, are you saying that Moors not in the temple are not Moors? I don't know if I answered that well enough. Look, man. All right. All right. The prophet tied us into our ancient forefathers. Okay? Who are Moabites. So we're all Moors. Okay? But guess what? They stripped us of our nationality. Okay? And people, he proclaimed, he created a religious society, legally, lawfully, whatever you want to say. It's legit. And he proclaimed us Moorish Americans. You have to participate in that society. That's why I just said all Catholics aren't members of, citizens of Vatican City. It don't work like that. You have to participate in that society. Matter of fact, Vatican City doesn't even just give people unconditional citizenship. They get like 4 or 5 years or something like that. They have to be active, like members of the clergy or whatever. They have to be active members, participants of that city. I know what I'm talking about. You can look it up and get the actual wording, but that's how it works. If you go off from Vatican City and you're going to do your own thing, you are not a part of that society anymore. It don't work like that. Okay? And the only reason, I don't care what you consider yourself, you could be Washita, Moorish Washita, I'm Nubian Moorish, I'm XYZ Moorish, I'm Moorish, Hebrew Israelite, all this stuff. You could be whatever kind of Moor, we Cherokee Moors, you could be whatever you want to be, right? Right? But the only reason any of y'all talking that Moorish stuff is because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali came and he put in work. Islam. For a long time. He put in work. And that's why. Matter of fact, the only reason a lot of us even, know that this is our land is because they put in work. One of the first things he did was like, this is not a back to Africa movement. He wasn't knocking the Pan-Africans because who's his forerunner? Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He gave much respect to them. Patterned a lot of the movement after what Marcus Garvey brought. Right? He was on point. He was on nationalism, but it was the United Negro Improvement Association, still under the slave label, right? It's no knock. Like, how could he know? This is hidden in the law. All right? Okay, and to speak to that, like, I'm still on that. Like, yeah, to be a Moor, you have to participate in the society. Somebody could come and be like, yo, I'm going to start this. I'm going to call it the Moorish Consulate. We're going to call it Moorish Castle. It don't matter what you call it, bro. It don't matter. It's not legit. What the Prophet came and set up is legit for those reasons. The way that it's set up, it's legit.
Islam.
And yes, you have to participate. You have to be an active participant.
You're only a Moorish American Muslim if you have proclaimed your nationality with the Prophet's temple, the Prophet's MSC of A.
All right, so you can't be on the outside looking in. I mean, you can, but I'm just saying you're not a part of it. That might. I don't really care if that rubs you the wrong way or not. It's like, no. The answer is no. It can. Because, like, that's the truth. And sometimes the truth ain't going to be what you want to hear. You might want to hear that you don't have to actually commit to the Prophet's movement. You don't actually have to, if you don't think it's good enough, you don't actually have to come in there and put in work to help it to do what it's actually, created for. You could just sit on the sidelines or do this, and that, and dabble in this, and that. That's not how it works. If you do that, you're on the outside. Okay? And for the people that notice all the flaws and things with the movement, you have to come in and fix it. If you don't do it, who will? If I don't do it, who will? Who's going to build it? If we're supposed to have Moorish banks and we don't have them, who's going to do it? If I don't do it, who's going to do it? And if you think I'm going to do it by myself, you're crazy. It takes more than that. You have to come in and do it. If you're not going to do it, it's not going to get done.
And just like the mother hen story,
who do you want?
If we do build it ourselves, like, why should we let you in?
Yeah,
you know,
like
where
seriously,
were you?
what are you waiting for? You waiting on spaceships or something? What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? Who's gonna do it? If you're not gonna do it, who? If you're not gonna build it, who? Right?
We are the ones we've been waiting for, right?
Talking about it sounds depressing. Like, get out of here. It takes work. If you're that's good though. If you're scared of work, gone somewhere. You know, if you're scared.
That's why you're a slave.
I'm not knocking church,
that's why
man,
they made slaves.
but that's where you need to go.
That's why you're a minority.
Because that's exactly, like, you know, we're upright, we're fearless.
And independent.
So now, knowing that there's some work that needs to be done now doesn't scare me. Right? I'm not trying to pass on a debt to my children. I'm not trying to pass on, you know, being a slave and being weak and fearful to my children.
But you just got to study self at first. I
Come on, man.
There's a lot of information. It's a lot to know. It's a lot to do. But you have to start with yourself, you know? Like I said, focus on your strengths. Focus on your goals. Be successful. Be able to buy a house for your family and yourself. You know? Be able to run a business. Come into the temple with something to offer.
Word. So everybody, yeah, like, pretty much that's it. Just what she said, you know? Somebody said, would you please address why it's pinned to the left? These people are crazy. Pinned to the left.
Anyways, like when we
that's the internet for you, man.
When we lived in Brazil, you know, there was a bunch of Americans, you know,
sucker,
hitting us up, you know, saying that they wanted to come down there, but they didn't have any money, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they didn't have any goals or any plans. And, you know, what we told them, we're like, Brazil has enough bums. Brazil has enough homeless people, has enough poor, has enough poverty. You don't come here to add to that. Brazil don't want you, you know? You go to Brazil, you got to have some money. You got to have some finances so that you could, you know, add to the society. And that same thing everywhere, every country you ever go to in the world. You are supposed to be coming to add something to that place, to that nation, to that society. And that's it. Like, you don't get hired for a job or whatever just because you superhero on you superhero Amenhotep Ra, you know, Akhenaten online. You better have some freaking skills.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because it's like we went to Brazil. Can't just show up and be like, hey, I look like Brazilians. Most of them look like me, right? Can't just do that. They don't care. You know, especially you coming from somewhere else, they want you to be able to bring something to contribute to their society. Just like America, they have a visa lottery, you know, for a lot of, you know, foreigners, you know, to come here. They got to pay. They have to have some type of skills or something. You know, you know, for the most part, they don't just want your, you know, everyday people who have nothing to contribute, because you got enough of that already going on.
It's like you're supposed to be the cream of the crop. You know, here we're in the most powerful, you know, nation in the world. Everybody wants to come here. There's people trying to come here from every place, every corner of the world, trying to get into where we are and be us, because we're popping.
Yeah, so I think that was understood. I mean, like for the most part, but I'll just say it one more time real quick this time for the people. Like okay, the guy asks, you know, do you have to be in the temple to be a Moor? And it's like, look,
not a Moor, but a Moorish American Muslim, yes.
Like we're saying, the Prophet he connected us to our ancient ancestors who were Moors, right? So we're all Moors, but we were stripped of our nationality legally, right? Through the legal system that was set up, and this is known. And he set up a society, a religious society that allows you to proclaim your nationality, that is legit, that is known. It's understood that this is done correctly, okay? That's why it came under attack. And so in order to be a Moorish American, you have to take part in the society. You have to be an active member of this society. You don't have to agree with me. You could be on the outside throwing rocks, whatever. You don't have to agree with me, but it's the truth. You can file 1,000 proclamations. You can tell all these different people, the mayor, the president, all these people, how you know, your ancestors been here for me. You can say all this stuff that sounds crazy. You can do all that. You can put your fingerprints, all that stuff on it. You can file all that stuff. You can do all that by yourself. All right? But in order to be a Moorish American, you have to participate in this society for real. You can't just pick the brains and try to take what works for you and put it on your own thing. You have to participate, right? And I get why a lot of people don't want to participate, because you've been through the church system. You don't feel like it did anything for you, or you just see all of the trickery and things out there and you don't want to participate. But if you know history and you know this was set up for real by the prophet and it's legit, if you know this and you're still trying to be on the outside, I don't get it. All right?
And if you study the works of your ancestors and you tapped into your spiritual realm and your magic, you would know that that was part of your birth, your birthing. That was part of you being born. This is where you come to. This is where you're at, to be reborn and to come into this world with your eyes wide open, with the knowledge of self that you need to be who you're supposed to be.
And the brother asked a question kind of off the point, but I'll address it. He said how the Moors, the original people of America, when America is older than the Moors and Islam. Just asking. Well, that's because when you're thinking of the Moors, you're only thinking of maybe like the Moors that were in Spain.
The documented Moors.
You're thinking about that from that perspective. But in actuality, this goes back even before that, because even Islam means peace, right? Being at peace, at one with the universe, at one with your surroundings, being at peace with yourself, your inner self, right? Being able to connect to Allah within, the creator within. This is ancient. It even goes beyond the word Islam. This is what all people are practicing all over the world when they practice true spirituality. All these religious systems, spirituality systems are all tied into it. So it doesn't really matter what word you call it. You're using the word Islam. That's what we use now as far as this. But it predates even that. Okay, and the aspect of the Moorish aspect of it even predates what we're seeing. When you look at the Moors in Spain, and even before that, when you're looking at Muhammad and you're looking in that region of North Africa and Arabia, right? Because, okay, from our perspective, when we have the Holy Quran that was written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he lets us know that we've been here since before the continent split apart. Right? Okay? But when you do research, you can see vestiges of this still that haven't been completely covered up. And I'm talking about modern archaeology. You have stone figures wearing fezzes with tassels over here. You had the indigenous people of the Americas who were dark brown skinned, who were wearing fezzes with tassels, who were wearing turbans. And it's a known fact. Okay? Now, you can say that they were Muslims, or you could be like, nah, they weren't practicing Islam. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. Like I was saying, this is being at peace with everything. Okay? So if they have a true spirituality system that's connecting them to the divine, they're Muslims. And they're practicing Islam. And you can see even in the way that they're dressing and carrying themselves that they are Moors. It's known. And this is a known fact. And there are people who are very well studied, who went to schools like Harvard, Cornell University, and all this stuff, who know these things and know it's true. But they don't want you to know that. Why else would they be finding pyramids like the one that's on this channel? You can see the video about it. That was found in Ecuador that looks just like the one on the US dollar. That even has the Eye of Horus at the top. Why are these things being found over here? Right? That throws off everything you've ever learned from conventional history, even from the aspect of Egypt. And even Egypt, as you see over there in North Africa, is covered up. But from what you see of that, even that, there's more to it than what you're taught. Because they found Egyptian artifacts over here. And it all goes into the Smithsonian or into the vaults of the Vatican. And this is not a lie, right? Because you can still see the aspects of it. All right? And so what you're thinking of is more, that's just one aspect of it. What we know as Moors is that Moors are the keepers of the ancient mystery system, the knowledge and wisdom from the ancient mystery system. And this wasn't something that just took place in Egypt. It was worldwide. And there's artifacts that are found all over the world that show there was a worldwide culture with one language. One language. Okay? Predates everything that you see in conventional history. So if you're willing to look outside of that and to do some research on your own, you'll see that it's real. And you'll know that there's an ancient connection, and that's what connects us to it. And it's something that no one else is going to tell you. They can't tell you because it's the biggest secret, who you are, right? People will tell you what, in the shrine when they're just wearing this, they're doing this, just for the most part, just having some fun. But no, there's more to it than that. They have to be you. They have to pretend to be you, to sit in your place, because you're not sitting there. You're not in the throne in your proper persona. You're not doing it. Somebody has to run the world. We're supposed to do it.
Right. And all is mind. Whatever your imagination takes you to do is going to manifest in your life. And it's like, if if your imagination and you're imagining that you are rich and you're focused on those rich goals, like, it's going to happen to you because that's universal law. So if they're doing this in secret, they're doing this on a spiritual level. And it's like, they took that away from us. You feel me? Like, that is ancient knowledge. That's one of the keys that, you will learn how to manifest into your life.
And somebody said that they were looking for a temple. They went to one in Kansas City. It wasn't really established. Well, this is what we're saying before. Okay, if it's not established, who's going to establish it? If you see that it's not being done up to where it should be, you're either going to come in and do it, or you're just not going to take part. Okay? If you don't take part, who's going to do it? I'm not saying you have to do all the work yourself. Okay? But you and others like you have to do it. We have to do it. Others like us have to do it. We have to build it. If we don't, it's not going to happen. Okay? And that's the plain and that's the simplest way I could put it. Now, for some, this is like a call to action, and they hear that and they're like, yeah, you're right. That doesn't mean you have to do everything, but what you are up for, what you are capable of doing, you have to get in and do it. And for others, they're like, that's too much work. I want somebody to save me. Captain Saver. You just want somebody to swoop in with their cape and be like, you all right, I got you. Come on, put you on their back and fly off. And like, that's not how it works. And so I'm saying, like, this is a call to action for the people out there who get it. You hear they're like, okay, the prophet created the temple. Yeah, of course it came under attack because it's legit. But there's work to be done. And we're coming online because it's activated in your DNA. You're supposed to be online. You're supposed to be coming to action. And so the people that hear the call, they know, okay, I have to get in there. Hey, if there's more work that needs to be done in the temple, it's not up to where it's supposed to be at. Do you need to be out here trying to talk trash, trying to expose it, or trying to make the temple look bad? No. So you need to get in there and fix. What you can do
is you go
be an asset.
You go to mstfa.net. You contact, one of the temples and one of the sheiks, and you talk to them. You tell the sheiks, look, I'm in this location. There's nothing up here popping for us. How can I get this popping here for us? And it's like, okay, if you're serious, you'll be able to work with the temple and you'll be part of the build.
And the same person I think said, first we have to come together. It's like, look,
we're already together.
I agree with that, and then I don't agree with it. Like, the main thing, like, look, man, those of us who are capable, who are on it, need to come in and do the work. Okay? There's not going to be any unity. Nobody else is going to come until they see it being active and being prosperous. And that's how most people work, right? Okay, we're successful. Then more people want to come in. So it's not gonna be like, oh, we just gonna come together like the Care Bears. It don't work like that. They want to do them and do their thing, and they'll come in when they see it popping. Okay, so we have to get it. We have to get it there. And if you're near a temple or you see some people in the temple and things aren't up to where they need to be at, you need to get in and you need to help. That's it. That's what it really is. Maybe some people don't know what it really is. You thinking like, oh, they supposed to be on point so they can help me. Nah, it ain't like that. That's not reality. So what you gonna do about it?
The
What you gonna
prophet
do
did the
about it?
work. The older Moors kept the doors open. Now, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, like, are you gonna come in and be an asset, or are you just gonna like not mess with it at all? Like, so ain't nobody coming to save you, and that's the truth. It was set up for us, and we have to do the work. Okay, and
Exactly.
that's really, I guess that's really it. All that we have to say. Do you want to say something?
What you gonna
What?
say?
Moors are good, and and they don't and they don't disrespect people or be mean. They just wanna restart what they came from and be nice and stuff, and they wanna restart doing what they was doing and not letting people mess with them, so they can do what they wanna do and do what they wanna help for other people.
Islam. And that's
Islam.
coming from a baby.
Right. So that's it. Like it's work to be done, and that's it. It's not a knock to anybody. Like not saying you're not doing a good job or whatever. Just it's work to be done. If you notice there's things that can be improved, then that means you probably like you know you have the skills, or you at least are aware of what can be done to improve it. So that may be your job, is to come in there and point these things out and come up with some ways to improve. Okay, so that's really all trying to say. There's work to be done, so get in there and do it, because nobody's gonna do it for you. All right, and if you don't do it, no one's gonna do it. All right, and so that's where it is, and that's the reality and truth about the temple. And I like just advise you, like, don't be out here bashing it. If it's not good enough, get in there and fix it, and work with the other progressive Moors to grow it. And at the end of the day, man, it's business. We have to be out here prosperous and conducting business, because if you're not doing that, you're not doing anything. And that's it. At the end of the day, like, don't talk to me about some foolish, stupid, useless paperwork. Get out of my face with that mess. Don't talk to me about this mess, filing liens and all this. Don't act like you making progress and that's what you're doing. Get your butt in here. Start these businesses. Get to work. Building up the community. If you're not doing that, it's just talk. If you're not doing it, and not online, don't tell me what you're doing online. Keep your mouth online. Okay, what we doing right now online is cool, but the real stuff, the building, the doing things in the community, do that out there for real. All right, don't talk about it. And then people that want to talk online, they just leave them online. You work with the people who live in the real world. All right. And look, you proclaim your nationality at the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. All right. And yeah, I think that's it. Somebody said, is there a definitive plan of action that you know of? Start a model for a tangible Moorish community. That's a good question. And that's something that should be discussed off the internet if you want it to be successful. Okay? That's the realest answer in the world. You want to be successful with something like that, you discuss it off the internet with your Moors who are for real. You don't talk to everyone about it, just the ones who's going to be active and do what they're supposed to do. And you start off small where you're at in your community, because if you can't do it right there in your little town, your little city, it's not going to work. And that's it. Right? Yeah, you can go to mstofa.net. And that was kind of the thing that I was talking about. Like, if you're not in the temple, you can't like really like be expecting to get too much information. Okay, you got to get in there and be an active part of that society. Okay, so that you're contributing and you are invested in it. Now people don't have a problem sharing important information with you and building with you because you are invested. Like, I'm not telling everybody what's going on in my house. Like I'm invested in my family. I care about what's going on with my children, my wife, myself. You know, I care. I'm invested in it, right? I'm not invested in everyone else's family like that. So like you have to become a part of that family, that society. You have to get invested in it. Be an active member. Not asking a lot. You know, you're not selling your soul or something. You know what I'm saying? You joining the temple. It's not like that. You're not like, come on, man. You join, you become active, and then you can build with the Moors. Don't do it online. Don't get on, like, don't do it online. Do it off the internet. Don't even talk about what you're doing online. All right, this ain't everything you're doing is not like for everyone to know. They need to be invested in this society. Some things need to be on a need to know basis. What's wrong with that? Nothing. All right? Nothing. And yes, the MoorishFez.com, that's a Moorish American owned business. All right? Moorish Americans are making their own fezzes. Okay? And it's official. I've seen one. It's official. All right? And it's coming very soon, like for real, for real. So for the person that just asked about that, yeah. If you have signed up, good. If you haven't, go to MoorishFez.com. Sign up to get on that waiting list. Yeah. It's almost through production, so coming real soon. All right? And so industry right there. That's about all I can say about that, though. Moors are industrious out here, okay? You're not going to find out about it online. You have to be out here in the world, okay?
And for all the Moors who ask, why should I proclaim my nationality in the Moorish Science Temple of America? And, you know, a really good point is like the terminology, the labels that are put on our people, Black, African American, Negroes, those are all negative terms, and when people hear that, they automatically put a negative label on you, like criminal, thief, untrustworthy, lazy. These are all terms and labels that come with those particular labels that we've been calling ourselves, our people have been calling ourselves for a long time. So you want to kind of shed, you want to take off that negative layer of clothing that's been draped, that you have been draped with, you know, from an outside force, you know, from the government who put these labels on you at birth. You know, you want to take those off, and you want to clean, you know, a clean suit, you know, a new suit of armor, you know, something shiny and clean, and what people are going to see you as, you know, royalty of this land, of who you are. Moors, be yourselves. And that's who we are. We are Moorish American Muslims, and that's just us being ourselves, you know, being noble, being, you know, trustworthy, being industrious, being productive, being intelligent, being scientists, listening to reason. And it's all part of your lifestyle for you to be upright, fearless, and independent. And that's what people are looking for. And until you can show people, show and prove, you are going to be labeled, you know, in these derogatory terminology, and it's gonna go with you. Even if you're doing the right thing all the time, you carry that burden as long as you accept those labels in your life.
Yeah, and so, you know, we know that spelling is casting spells, right? And so, I mean, legally it's messed up, and that's really all that matters. But if you look at the dictionary definitions, you know, under black, it means death. You know, it's associated with all these things that are negative. and if you know that they're putting this spell on you, and then they're going and doing the work legally and making sure that it means this, they're not connected to the family and humans. That's what it means. This is a slave, you know, a perpetual slave. That's what it means. You don't want to be tied to it. All right. And then it doesn't matter that James Brown made the song "I'm Black and I'm Proud." It doesn't matter. It's a color. We don't need to be that married to a color. Who cares? It's a color. Somebody said, are there any temples established as 501c3? I'm not knocking any other temples, but you could go to mstofa.net and you can join the temple there.
You can
and
read all the information.
This is set up under the Heard Smith revised statute that the prophet set up in Cook County. Okay? So yeah, you can go there. She put the link in there, mstofa.net. All right? And it's not a 501c3. But like I said, the other temples have reasons for doing that. You know, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying you could go there, mstofa.net. All right? And there's, I mean, everybody can follow follow suit and do what they're here to do as far as, you know, what to do in business. Okay? Because, like, for real, there's practical, real things out here in the world that everyone can do. It's wide open for us. Okay? It's wide open. We actually have, you know, we're in a great position because, like, in some ways we've fallen to the point where we kind of have nothing to lose. We can, you know, we can do all types of things. So there's all types of avenues of industry that's set up for us to succeed. You know, and especially just working with each other. Just Moors can have their own title insurance companies. And when we, you know, get houses and when we get property to open up businesses in, we're only going with our own. And there's so many different avenues set up for us just to work with each other and to grow. There's so many things that we can do. No, we don't all have to be rappers, singers, models, comedian, you know, actors. You know, we don't all have to be entertainers. We don't all have to be selling incense and selling oils and clothes, shoes, fashion, and all this stuff. No, we don't have to all do that. There's a whole bunch of things we could do.
But that also comes with strengthening yourself. Like, focusing on what you're good at. Everybody's not here to do the same job. One more might be strong in civics. One more might be strong in, you know, agriculture. And it's like, at the end of the day, you have to be a master at your craft so that when you come to the table, you can have a plan that will be implemented so that it can help in, you know, our society.
Yeah, and these Moors who's just trying to, like, make money off of people selling this paperwork stuff, they're not going to be able to do that stuff much longer because people are starting to wake up. You're starting to see that it's trash, and it is not working, all right? And more people to see that, and especially the more people they get into the profits movement for real, legit, and understand a proper way to move and to avoid all that mess, they lose their customers. And then they have to come up with some new hustle or go legit, you know? Because they're only, like, banking off of people's ignorance. They're banking off all the people who are coming in, don't know anything about what the prophet really brought and how we're supposed to actually move. More people go into the temple and realize what time it really is, less suckers out there. And that's really what it is. Okay? They can't, like, tell me to, hey, yo, squat in this house. I'm not going to do nothing stupid like that. Right? But, like, people who don't know anything and they're, like, brand new to this, it might be appealing. More people starting to wake up. So it's not going to work for long. All right? And so, like, there's lanes for everybody in this, and that's all it's about, business. We about to get up out of here. Everybody needs to get out here and be industrious. Go ahead and get on in the temple. You know, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I just said what it is. You see what it is. The prophet set up the religious society. You can come in and proclaim your nationality. It's legit. So all of that other stuff is unnecessary. We don't have to be out here doing what a lot of people are saying to do. It's because they either don't know better or they just, you know, I don't know. They're just cool with misleading people. It's maybe they're making money off of it. Maybe they're selling you something.
And in the Prophets MST of A, to answer this one question, we're taught to love instead of hate, and we're taught to honor all prophets. And we practice Islamism, and you can do the research on those 3 points, and you'll have all the answers you asked on this feed.
Exactly. Okay. So on that note, about to get up out of here. Just advise everybody, go to the temple. There's one near you, fine. If not, go to mstofa.net, find a temple, join. Even if there's not one near you, join. You know, join home office or something, and get on in there, learn, get the real teachings, study it, get it down so that you understand and know how to conduct yourself. And that's it. It doesn't make your life harder. It doesn't make things worse. It improves it. Okay? Having a nationality doesn't make Chinese Americans get into more trouble. It doesn't make Chinese Americans start getting locked up. You know, it doesn't make them start having issues. Oh, I can't work. I can't do this anymore. No, it makes their life better. Having a nationality is a good thing, okay? And so this will help you. It makes it where Chinese Americans can build with other Chinese Americans. They can have systems set up, which they're not the only ones who do this, where you can come over here and not really have a lot of money, but you can work in another Chinese American or whatever you are's business, and you work there for a certain amount of time, and then guess what? Now it's your turn to get a business. And so the other Chinese Americans, or whatever nationality they are, all kick into the pot to help you start your business. Why are they doing this? Because we have a common nationality and a goal. We're coming for economic prosperity so that we can build ourselves up and whatever, send money home, whatever you're trying to do. And so they do it like that. If they didn't have that commonality in there, they wouldn't be able to do that. We can do the same thing. There's no reason why other people can come and do it, but we can't. But we have to be on the same page, right? And so these are things that are real and can be done. And you know, how could you even trust them, right? Just with that example, how can you trust it? You're gonna work here, and then in 5 years you're gonna get your chance, and everybody's gonna kick in, and you're really gonna get your business. How can they even trust that the other people aren't gonna renege or bounce or not kick in? Because there's standards. You know, morals. They hold themselves to a higher standard. Something is important. We're Chinese and that matters, and we're going to do this. Yes. Right? And so if you're just black, you're just African American, you're just whatever label they slap on you, because they got to change the label up soon because we've been African American for too long, right? Well, not we, but you know, they slapped that on us too long, right? So whatever label they slap on you, that label, okay, those people have no standards. They don't stand for anything. They're liable to do anything. Right? Their image that they are perceived as gets sold to the world. And for now, they see rappers. They see people who's acting like they selling drugs, who's acting like they criminals, they killers, they strippers. Right? They don't have morals and values. Right. That's what the African American is now. That's what gets sold to the world.
And you don't want to be that.
You know, this pants sagging. This imagery goes all over the world, believe it or not. And now they popping pills. They doing mollies. They doing all this stupid mess, right? So that's what gets sold to the world. That's what African Americans stand for. So, of course, you couldn't do that same model with African Americans. Like, hey, okay, I'm going to work at your business. We're going to help your business blow up. And then in 5 years, we are going to contribute to mine so that I get my opportunity. And, you know, while I'm doing that, somebody else they're going to come and help and work and help me get theirs. And then they're going to get theirs and fight. And we just keep building and building and building, right? African Americans can't do that. You know, you don't know what they liable to do. Moorish Americans are upright. Moorish Americans are different than that, right? We stand for something, and it matters. But you have to take part in the society. You can't be on the outside looking in. All right? The prophet set it up. It's legit. And you got to take part in it for it to work. And you can't say, it's messed up. They need too much work. Well, then it ain't going to get done. You got to get in there and do it. All right? So I think I said everything.
Islam Moors, happy holy day. Peace and blessings to you and everybody watching and everybody participating and everybody who's being industrious. And You know, just keep doing what you do. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, you know. Sharpen your blades, you know. Learn a trade. Build up some skills. And we'll get together soon.
Yeah, and like we right on time. Don't worry about that. We right on time, all right? Islam.